Good morning, Fractal Effects team. We're just following the market from the early session. So if you're joining us, please make sure you read the disclosure in our description and on the footer of fractaleffects.com. If you're following along, make sure you do in a demo account, as this is for educational purposes only. We are not financial advisors, and this is not financial advice. So we have a break in both directions. Today is Tuesday. Tuesday likes to set the low for the week, usually when we're bullish. We've already met one part of the London obligation. We've taken out this double break. We do have a 2 dB though. So one of two things is going to happen. And as far as SMT, we only have one break to the downside for both US 30 and for US 500, which looks like it could be going for a 2 dB, a double break now. So again, one of two things is going to happen. Either we get that double break and we'll use that first fair value gap, or it's going to gesticulate and maybe give us a bullish fair value gap and take that to go up. We're just going to have to wait and watch. That's the beautiful thing about this system, as mentioned before. We just wait for the confluence. There's your double break with US 500. So now US 500 is giving us all the telltale signs that it wants to go into the DSD low. Let's see if it actually gives us an entry or if it just runs off without us. I'd like to see US 500 come back into here. And then give us a proper setup. There's your double break for all of these. So we're no longer looking to take London highs. We're just looking for a retracement to go short. So I want to see NAS at least come back into here. One minute, 57 seconds left. Let's see if that confirmation sticks as well. No high impact news today. So remember, when there's no high impact news, the market does like to go back and forth sweeping liquidity before returning back to fair value. Fair value is usually the new day opening gap or true day open. They're all listed here for you. So US 500's already hit the DSD low. So is US 30. NAS was already well below the DSD low. But there is a 4-hour fair value gap down here. This could just be a runaway market. Look at all this consolidation and then just a huge break. So our low-hanging fruit has already been tapped. But again, I want to see if it comes back into this zone and actually sets us up to potentially go lower, to take out previous day's low, which is right there, a yellow line. And there's a 4-hour fair value gap and a new week opening gap right there. Okay, so we do have confirmation as well. We have a bearish confirmation. So we cannot buy this market now. All we can do is look for a setup to go short. That's the zone I'd like to see US 30 return back to. Purple zone here. Remember, both after a confirmation and a double break, there is a retracement. There's an 80% chance we'll get a retracement. There's a 20% chance the market will just run off without us. And that's fine. We're not trying to catch it. We're hoping it's that 80%. If I told you there was an 80% chance you'd win the lottery, I'm sure you'd buy a ticket. That's why we wait patiently. Get rid of this. So it looks like it is taking off. This was also the first presented fair value gap. So the fact that it didn't get tapped, if this one stays open too, this could be a breakaway gap and a runaway market. US 30 coming back into that zone. I want to see it hit this zone and then give me a 5M bearish fair value gap. One of these is going to do it. That is a huge immediate rebalance off of a DSD low. So you got to proceed with caution. Again, I'd like to see a pullback before it hits this 4-hour fair value gap. Doesn't mean that it can't just cut through, but this would be a great low-hanging fruit target. So this one came back in. Now I want to see if it respects this or violates it. Remember, we have a bearish confirmation and a double break to the downside. I cannot buy this market. Even if it reverses right past this point and continues up, I cannot buy it. That's the whole point of the strategy. Stick to it. We either find our setup or nothing at all. We left all these equal relative highs up here. London had a double break to the upside first. We had a 2dB. Usually we don't trade those, but it gives us at least information to be utilized when we're looking for confluence for the New York session. I think I'm interested in US 30 actually giving us a setup. So far this is a good rejection. I want to see a 5M bearish fair value gap created. US 30 still my best bet. Excuse me. Just looking for a 5M bearish fair value gap here. So the reason we're using US 30, we usually don't use US 30, it's a little decoupled, but lately it's been syncing up. So I'm using it as divergence as well. Whichever one of these three gives me the best setup, that's the one I'm interested in. Right now, US 30 actually gave us a double break, retracement back to the purple zone. It touched the blue zone. Now I want to see a 5M bearish fair value gap created. These two are pretty much runaway markets right now. This was the second fair value gap that was created, making NYC a breakaway gap. Now it's heading down into this 4-hour. So can't really catch these two. See? Even in US 500, we haven't touched any fair value gap yet. They're just dropping. But US 30, double break, bearish confirmation, retracement back to the blue zone. Let's see if it gives us that 5M bearish fair value gap. "28 seconds left in this candle. And this is why we wait. US 30 violating that blue zone now. So going for an even deeper retracement. That will force these two to retrace back. Now, depending on the retracement, depending how deep it is, that's when we're going to have to ask ourselves, is this a retracement or a reversal? Remember, it could just use this gap to drop. That's why US 30 is still more interesting to me. Way more room from there, even if it's just to take out these lows. So pushing for that retracement now, let's see how deep it goes. There's only one thing I'm interested in, a 5M bearish fair value gap. I want to see which one of these gives it to me first and from what area. This looks the most obvious right now, US 30. Let's see. NAS has touched this zone. US 500 also hit this fair value gap. That's not the fair value gap I was interested in. Wanted to see if it would give me at least a deeper retracement. It could still take off from here. But this has given me the deepest retracement, which gives me the most amount of room to take out this low. Remember, we've already hit the DSD low. We've already hit the DSD low here. 4-hour fair value gap right under us. These are the low-hanging fruit targets. So if we get a setup, I'd like to just get a deep enough setup where it just takes out the candle body. That way I don't have to worry about it going further than that. That's more than a 1 to 3 in here. The stop up here. But let's see if it actually gives us that. Remember, we are not interested in buying this market. Just looking for that reversal. So what happens after we get a bearish confirmation? We do retrace back to the 20 EMA, heading back to the 20. This, we're already well above the 20. So the deeper these two retrace, the better it is. I just don't want to see it get past this and keep going. Retracing to the 20. Now US 30 is dependent upon these two. The deeper these retrace and the sooner they give us a 5M bearish fair value gap, that's when US 30 will drop. So US 30 could actually just continue up, maybe even take out London highs. But because we have a double break and a bearish confirmation, even though it's off of a DSD low, we cannot buy this. Still more than enough time, 5 minutes to 11. Back to the end dog now. 20 EMA. Let's see what happens. Again, whichever one gives us a 5M bearish fair value gap first. That's the asset that I'm interested in. Still waiting. We have hit the 20 EMA in the purple zone. For NAS, let's zoom in. We're right at the end dog and the 20 EMA. Still just waiting for that 5M bearish fair value gap. Still not complete with the retracement. Remember, you know that you're kind of in that territory where the retracement is finished when you see expansion met with expansion. When you see a candle break right into the zone we're looking for, expand up, and then immediately expand down and engulf the previous candle. Expansion met with expansion. Look for that. Looks like we could be getting that here. Let's see. Still 3 minutes, 10 seconds left. I want to see a bearish for value gap. Let's see if it drops from here. Remember, on a week like this, we recommend you trade Monday, Tuesday, but then you have a lot of high impact news drivers the rest of this week. But even on Monday and Tuesday, you're going to get kind of clunky setups like this. Let's see if this gives us a 5M bearish fair value gap. We could potentially take that to the 4-hour. About 27 minutes left in our stream. "34 seconds left. We have to see one more candle print to see if this fair value gap sticks. Right now I'm liking how this looks. Four minutes left. I want to see if this fair value gap stays open. And then we'll see if we come back into that. Look for a trade setup to go short into that 4-hour fair value gap. Just going to leave it right about here just to see how it forms. Three minutes left. Under 2 minutes left. I want to see this stay open, and I want to see the market come back into it. Then on a lower time frame, we'll look for that entry. Proceeding with caution again, because both of these are actually respecting the DSD low. So all the confluence has to be there to let me know this wants to actually push into the 4-hour. 1 minute 22 seconds left. "24 seconds left. Just want to see where this fair value gap lands. "10 seconds. And there's your fair value gap. Now I want to see the market come back into here. Tap it, and then we'll look for an entry on a 1M. Could still take off without us, and that's fine. Remember, we're not trying to catch a runaway train. We're waiting for it to come into the station, and we'll board here. By the way, here's the only where it makes sense, where you're at least at a 1 to 2.5. Anything lower than that, for risk to reward, and it doesn't even make any sense. Just gonna make sure it's marked out perfectly. See? Now you gotta zoom in to make it perfect. As soon as we come into here, I'll drop down to the 1M. Now take a look at US 500. It never actually created a 5M bearish fair value gap at all. That's why we got to proceed with caution. That means this could just run right past here, right through here. "19 minutes left in our stream. Let's see if we can't find this high probability setup right here. Here it comes. Now on the 5M, I'd like to see expansion met with expansion. I want to see this candle drive up and then another candle drive back down and engulf this. And on the lower time frame, I want to see a 1M bearish fair value gap created and tapped. But as mentioned before, since US 500 did not create one, and US 30 has already violated its zone and going for a deep retracement, possibly a break of London, we got to proceed with caution. Digging in even deeper. 10 seconds left. So if we do blow past this fair value gap, the market could be returning to this one. Either way, we're not looking for a buy setup. We'll look for a sell setup here. And again, that has to be within our window of opportunity. If not, we're done for the day. Simple as that. Your model has to match the setup and vice versa. We have a double break to the downside and a bearish confirmation. We cannot buy this market. I don't care that we've hit the DSD low. Usually after hitting the DSD low, you're kind of done. Remember, it's only a buy model until it's not. It's only a sell model until it's not. But that doesn't change our bias. There could still be room to the downside. Today's Tuesday. Tuesday likes to set the low for the week when we're bullish. The low is down here. That's previous day's low. 4-hour fair value gap, just short of it. Now if I look at this on a 5M, that's expansion. Now let me see if it expands down. 2 minutes 41 seconds left. So 3 candles. And again, if it keeps driving up, that's fine. Twelve minutes left. Still just gesticulating right here. Let's see if US 500 takes these highs. Again, sell or nothing at all. I'm not looking for a buy setup here. Still nothing of interest. Looks like it's driving even higher. So we might not get the setup we're looking for. We only got 2 more candles left in our window of opportunity. Let's see. Two minutes left in this candle. US 30 just gave us a break to the upside. .27 seconds left. Let's see if this engulfs this candle. Candle body to candle body. Not quite. So this is our last candle. We did not, oh, we left a sliver of a fair value gap in here. Let's see where this candle closes. So US 500 has already blown past that area. And US 30 has already made it back to the DSD high, the single break. So this could actually set up for a low, a bearish fair value gap, and right back down here. And these two might be coming all the way back up into this. Either way, it's past our window of opportunity. We've already violated this gap. I'm not interested. Doesn't mean the market can't still drop from here. Just with all this back and forth, especially given the fact that this is high impact news week. Yeah, we'll call it there. So your homework, just to see where it actually did give you that setup. Was it from here eventually, or was it from up here? But again, you could not have bought this. Just want to see where it actually dropped from and sold off. Otherwise, it might have been a full reversal. And that's why we have this window of opportunity. If it doesn't happen within that, protects your capital. So we'll be live again tomorrow and Thursday. So tomorrow is PPI, and then we have CPI, Wednesday and Thursday. But we'll still be live. We'll be walking you guys through this. Check us out on fractaleffects.com. Please hit the subscribe button, turn on your notifications so you know when we're live. And we'll see you guys tomorrow.